Hello, welcome again to TWIOAT. I think I nailed it that time.
Absolutely out of the gates.
This episode
We're out of the gates, we're unshackled, we're running wild.
the West Study.
Couple of horses in a field.
Do I just have to go with you?
No, you do it.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by BIGPIPE Broadband.
Horses.
It's the shiz. It's so good. It's quicker than 50 horses going around the track racing each other. It is seriously quick.
It is the
internet.
Mackay Diva of internet.
They do ADSL. They do VDSL. No, maybe they don't do ADSL. They do cable. They don't fuck around. They do cable. They do proper internet. And you should all sign up. Use the code Worst Idea when you sign up. You get a free month. And
Whoa, what a deal.
best internet you can get. It's so bloody cheap. You got to bring your own modem because that's how they keep the costs down.
And if you are
And
not
there's no contract.
if you're not living in New Zealand, you do not get this time back.
It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time. Season 2.
Oh, Jesus. Hello, and welcome to the Worst Idea of All Time with me, Tim Batt.
And me, Guy Montgomery, coming to you live from the streets of Greyland, Auckland, New Zealand.
Let go of your thing. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, we got bored of doing the regular record indoors, so we thought we'd take a walk like last time. Which didn't actually. I forgot about that, but that was the one time we completely lost the thing.
That's right. Is this a cry for help, you ask? Almost definitely yes. I feel like we're taking this road show to the streets in the hopes that someone will stop us and maybe talk us down.
Oh, off this ledge, off this horrible, terrible ledge. So this is episode number 38. What?
38.
Watch 37, episode 38 of
I hate this every week.
our little podcast that we call The Worst Idea of All Time, where we watch and review the movie Sex and the City every single week
Sex and the City 2.
for a year.
Yep.
And we did it again. Don't know what to tell you at this point. Still not good. That hasn't changed. Same people in the movie, same line, same direction. The music is the same. It's all the same.
Yeah, it is almost indistinguishable from the movie we watched last week.
And the week before that, and the week before that, ad infinitum.
There's definitely motifs running through every film. I mean, the things are carbon copies of each other. It's an absolute.
Wait, we've gone the wrong way. Down my street. Where does this go? I haven't been down this bit.
It looks like it's public domain.
It's going down to Western Spring. Whoa, that's a street. Oh shit! This leads to my house. This is the bit on Western Springs where we went for our jaunt last time.
Yeah, we're on the other side of the road though.
Yes. So is this the Bullock track? Ah, fancy that, eh? Anyway, Google Maps that if you want to know where old Timbo lives.
Ah, that is interesting. God, this is. We're gonna have to really. Are we going up or down?
Down. Down.
We're gonna have to really labour to discuss the movie this week because I tell you what, it feels fucking fantastic to be in motion.
Well, let me open up with a shining light. How about that, eh?
Okay.
I've already forgotten what it was, but I did say it out loud so I wouldn't forget. Do you remember what I said?
Oh, I remember the idea of what you said. You said, I'm saying this now because otherwise I won't remember.
Is that all you remember of what I said?
Almost exactly what I said is what I remember.
Ah, jeez.
I think I remember mine though.
Okay, you go.
It was just I felt like the actors and the whole operation almost amounting to something for one of the scenes today. When Carrie confesses to the girls in the hotel that she kissed Aiden, and she's saying, I've kissed Aiden, and then like Charlotte and
You're losing it, man.
no, I've got
Keep it together, guy.
Charlotte and Miranda like sort of acting drunk and trying to put feedback in, and I felt like they actually almost achieved some comedy and some like emotional power in the scene. They were right on the cusp of it this week. They didn't quite get over the line, but it was a sign of life that I haven't seen for nearly on, a month.
They gave it a god-honest try, didn't they?
They really did. They were really going for it this week.
I am really pissed off that I can't remember what I said. Usually if you say something out loud like that, even when it is in the middle of the movie, you do it puts a little timestamp on your brain, Shit.
So why are we crossing a road?
I don't know. Why wouldn't we? Because we're going this way. We're going this way now.
So this is just very narrow. I'm walking.
Oh, it is,
I'm
eh?
walking like a crab. I'm walking side on right now. Look at my footwork.
You're doing
See what you've
really
done.
well. Sorry, I can't really go over more. You might catch some fireworks going off around us as well. We're not in a war zone. We're just in New Zealand. And what we like to do to celebrate people who unsuccessfully but get very close to bombing up Parliament in Britain like 300 years ago, we like to commemorate them by blowing stuff up of our own.
Everyone in sort of city, suburban areas is conscripted to buy the same box of fireworks from the warehouse, and then we are all given a roster which they schedule us to detonate each respective firework. It's all very regimented and organised, and accordingly, I mean, it's the longest lasting Guy Fawkes holiday internationally, but it is a real fucking nuisance. I mean, you've just got 1 or 2 Roman candles every 20 to 40 seconds.
Terrible for pets too. It's a really hard life being a domesticated cat or dog in this city and country to a great extent. But there's more people here, you know. So.
Definitely only in the city. They got it good in the country.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We've still got to set off fireworks every now and then, and they wouldn't be used to people at all. So it would be, how do you say, confusing for them, shocking even.
Look, I'm not too phased either way presently about the pets.
I'm just saying it's a game of two halves. There's cows on the farm. Fireworks scare the sheep. I think people are very confused by our appearance. It feels like there's a lot of tension in the air. We walked past a woman who looked absolutely baffled just moments ago when she looked over and saw us both with headphones on talking into a beanie.
Yeah, it's a pretty out there look. And we have to walk in remarkably close proximity to each other on account of the headphone jack. So I got very close to the microphone as I ducked under an incoming branch. Look, I don't want to talk about any of this. I just want to sit down and go toe-to-toe with you vis-a-vis the 2010 critically panned box office smash, I think, Sex and the City 2.
Okay, here are my thoughts. We've got a woman who doesn't know how to act when she's talking, and Sarah Jessica Parker, but is very good at acting when she's not talking and other people are talking. Kim Cattrall is the inverse, where she can sell me on a character when she's delivering lines, but she cannot do reactive acting. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a good level of depth to be bringing to the table. And I'm inclined to agree. I've never really watched the performances with that particularly in mind or been moved to notice it. Did you just make sort of greeter eyes with that person as we walk past?
Of course, it's a friendly neighbourhood.
As if to be like, hey, no, don't worry, we're totally okay.
Well, yeah, kind of, to be honest. Like, I'd be pretty freaked out if I was walking down the pavement and us came at me.
Oh, it'll be okay. We're setting a pretty reasonable pace.
Yeah, I could probably do with a slow down, take it down half a gear. I'm not sure why we were just motoring down the footpath.
I think in my mind I was drawing some connection between if I walk faster, the experience will be over faster. As though the quicker we walked, the faster time moved.
Funnily enough, that ain't how it works on this show. So look, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Michael Patrick King's magnum opus. She's long. I'll open with that. Don't know if you guys have heard me mention that before, but the duration is whopping. That's how I would describe it. Oh yeah. Oh no, this wasn't a shining light. This was just an observation. But the fact that Michael Patrick King in the script expresses 2 times out loud when things are funny. 2 times. Twice. Now the first time is when Big meets Carmen Garcia Carrion.
Carry on.
Thank you, I will. That's just a little joke for us and those who've seen the movie. Actually, if you've seen the movie, that still won't be funny. It's if you've seen the movie 35 times with Guy and you make a little joke about the last name of Carmen Diaz.
Because she
No. Who am I saying?
She says her name.
No, who am I saying though? What's her name?
Carmen.
No, I mean the actual actress.
Oh, Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz. Carmen Diaz. Very, Very different people.
Absolutely mangled. Yeah, no, Big introduces her as Carmen Garcia, carry on, and then she corrects him for his accent to say carry on, and then he says carry on.
Well, he should say that.
Yeah.
If he's in a British... You know what's not important? The fact is that
I mangled the delivery.
jokes between Guy and I have to exist for us to be on the life raft, you know? Now, as I was saying, 2 points in the script when we know that Michael Patrick King thinks that he's written a real zinger of a line. One of it is then when Carmen is talking to Big and there's a joke early on in the exchange about how he needs to keep it up for her.
Yeah.
What would you assume?
Heavy innuendo towards an erection.
But what she's actually talking about is the stock market, allegedly, or at least
Of
that's what
course.
gets explained to Carrie.
Yeah.
But
It's villainous.
what happens after that is, as they depart, because Carrie so rudely interrupts the interaction and cock blocks her own husband, which I think is very inconsiderate, they curtail the conversation and he says, "I'll try to keep it up for you." Carmen Garcia Carrion then says, "He's very funny. Your husband is very funny." Is that a funny joke, first off?
No, it's not only is it not funny, it's completely inappropriate.
Like, wholly
Yeah. I would
inappropriate.
be appalled to see anyone of my friends or anyone at all use such heavy-handed, in-your-face humour, whether or not they had a spouse at all.
We're going to the supermarket, just so you know. I'm positioning a detour on us, okay?
We're going to take this roadshow into the supermarket.
You got it. Okay,
Oh, man.
now the second time, so the other 50% of the times when Michael Patrick King signposts the fact that he's had a real zinger is when we first see Dickbot. No, the second time we see Dickbot in the karaoke bar, and he says, "Would you be available tomorrow night?" to Samantha, and she says, "I'd be open."
Yeah, I'd be very open.
So what? I mean, what do you get from
I'm
that?
available all night.
I'd be open. What do you take from those words?
Like she's like Samantha Jones is pretty keen.
Look at you, you bashful little South Island boy.
No, like
You're adorable.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. There's no two ways about it. There's no way.
Sex.
There's no way these two aren't gonna do it.
It's a sex thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, in response to this,
Frankly, I find how overtly sexual those two characters are uncomfortable throughout the film.
but then Dickbot goes, "You're very funny, Samantha." And again, not a funny joke. There are better jokes in the film.
So you're
Not many, but there's a couple.
You're saying the parts of the movie in which Michael Patrick King pats himself on the back and says, "Yeah."
Yeah, the only two times people are congratulated for being funny are those two times.
Well, like if the last 37 or 6 weeks have established anything, it's that maybe you and Michael Patrick King don't share a sense of humour entirely at this point in time.
You could be right. I could be overthinking this. Because like in other movies, you don't measure all the times that someone is sad by them saying the words, "I'm sad," do you? So you shouldn't count every joke only counting as when someone else says, "You're funny."
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to look at it.
So, all right, scratch that observation. Go fuck yourself, Guy Montgomery.
Certainly. It'll be a pleasure. What else?
Still no word on that shining light, folks. I've been looking everywhere, high and low. Cannot find the bugger.
Combing through the recesses of his mind.
Oh, I tell you what, though. Let's get this a little bit warmed up before we get into the old super. Scooby-Doo.
Good call. Scooby-Doo-ba-boo.
Scooby-Doo-beep-bow.
Scooby-Doo-ba-boo.
Forward planning. Scooby-Doo-ba-ba.
Scooby-Doo-beep-ba.
Scooby-Doo-ba.
Goodwill Fish and Chips. Scooby-Doo-boo-boo.
Scooby-Doo-beep-ba.
Scooby-Doo-ba-ba.
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo-ba. Scooby-Doo-ba. Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Squeeze.
Scooby-Doo-ba-boo.
What's he doing? Why is he
that
rapping?
okay?
That's the question that we ask every single week. You're used to it by now, folks. You know how this works.
Yeah, and as always, strong showing from our Java-addicted, fucking rocket-bladed maniac.
Gold gilded, award nominated, fist
Entre-
clenched,
entrepreneurial, academic,
Sexually gifted.
to say the least. Pretty much, he is getting all loaded up on caffeine to write a memoir.
Oh, this is killing me. We chucked out so many adjectives, we need to chuck a noun on it. Man was the last thing. Java man.
Yeah, pretty much he's taken stock of his lot in life and how he's gotten there in his story, and he's realised it's a pretty interesting one. You'd almost say it's one worth telling, and he's set to work on that pretty much immediately.
I have read the autobiography, and if I may, would you like a little shortened version of this man's life?
Absolutely.
Coffee Guy was born to a Polish father and a Russian mother in the year 1958. He was actually born in Russia, but his parents wanted to get him out of there as soon as possible because they had big plans for him attending an American university and really making something of himself. So they saved up all their money and they shipped him off alone at age 7 to the States. And because Java Man knew how hard his parents had worked and what they'd sacrificed to send him there, he just had the sense that he had to do everything in his power, spend every single moment possible dedicated to realizing the dream they'd set for him at the expense of realizing their own dreams. So he set to work on just nailing school.
Yeah.
The best at school.
So there was no consideration for life beyond school or outside of school. He was single-mindedly going to absolutely dominate his schooling experience.
Yeah. No one was going to be better than Coffee Guy. It looks open, eh? So he set to work from day dot. He was in there, 8 years old, started winning first place prizes for the National Spelling Bee. By the age he was 10, he was on his way to getting a full academic scholarship. Things were looking super bright for this guy. And he actually got into Harvard, took them up on their generous offer of free tuition for being a good bastard.
That's a very impressive achievement, and he worked hard for it.
He did. He was on his way to a law degree,
This
in
is
fact.
a wonderful and sort of inspiring account of what hard work can achieve.
Absolutely. What I didn't tell you is when he was in middle school. What?
I don't know how to regulate my volume now. We're in a supermarket.
Well, just hang with me, baby doll. I'll do the heavy lifting. So, his parents died when he was in middle school, by the way. Both of them in a car crash. Very sudden, very awful.
Yeah.
But here is how the rest of the tale goes down. This guy's working towards, because he's gotten his law degree from Harvard now, and he's trying to get himself a PhD. A PhD, guy.
And what?
Psychology.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because he wants to be the best lawyer possible, so he needs to understand the human mind better than anyone else.
What are you looking for?
Lollies.
Okay.
We've gone down the wrong aisle. That's all that's happened there. Now, while this guy was starting his early university career, he really noticed a change in the workload between sort of high school, junior school, middle school, and then kicking up to college level. Like, it was a whole different beast, and he didn't know how to do it.
He couldn't just use his natural facilities to achieve the results he needed to achieve.
That's right. So at first, the guy got hooked on Adderall for a while too. Started taking a real toll on his liver, and he got hospitalised one day from Adderall overdose.
And the doctor said, "There's no way you can take all that Adderall. You kill yourself." It was Steve's cousin, Grieve.
Grieve, hell of a doctor, not a great communicator.
Yeah, he's actually got a pretty pained relationship with Steve, but that's a different story.
So,
I've got to get a drink.
Okay, he
So
got
left.
addicted to coffee. Is the long and short of it. His doctor prescribed the sweet, hot, dark magic that is.
The only way you're going to get the same effect as Adderall without the side effects is you got it. You got more coffee.
He prescribed more coffee, and
In a laboured final breath, and just like his parents, Dr. Grieve died that day.
that's right. And this is the thing: it's like, would you take medical advice from a doctor who gave it to you in their final passing breath? And I think not. But whatever. It's not my call.
Well, that's why you're not Coffee Guy, and Coffee Guy is. So he really took this to heart. In addition to being an incredibly hard worker and a very sharp intellectual, the guy's very emotional.
Yeah. And I mean, you can see that he wears his heart on his sleeve. And I've got a lot of love and respect for the guy. I'm going to get 2 drinks.
Okay, very good. So, I mean, that's how he got addicted to coffee. That's kind of chapter 1 of his life. Chapter 1, there's 3 chapters in this book. The second chapter tells...
It's a pretty long first chapter.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, you know, you got to get all the context to get into the real story.
It's important. It's important. You're right.
Real bones of it.
So this is like, and all this, remember, this is just what Coffee Guy's working away on in the episode this week. He's busy as a beaver. He's busy as a bee.
Sure is. So by this stage, our man's 32 years old. He is equipped with a PhD in psychology and a Master's of Laws from Harvard.
Which he just tagged on the side.
And he decides that he wants to get involved in local body politics. So he runs to become mayor of Stanton, Connecticut.
Yeah, on the back of a pretty controversial policy.
Yeah, he grandstanded on a no more deer policy. He wanted to exterminate all the deer in Connecticut, which seems insane. You just got to flatten out that barcode. There we go. That's 1. And that's 2. Nice. Oh, you didn't put it in a bag.
We don't need a bag.
This is a nightmare.
Don't use bags, everyone.
So, there we were, observing this champion going for his inaugural political maneuver.
Oh man, these checkouts take so
Yeah,
long.
I know,
It's insane.
so many buttons.
Split payment.
Okay.
This
where are
one's
we at?
got
Is this working?
This one's got a virus or something.
Oh, no. All right, I think we've cracked it. Guys, press the combination of buttons now.
Now this is just people listening to us.
Okay, we're good.
A chapter 2.
You wouldn't have thought that Stanton, Connecticut would be a town that was very fond of hardcore Democrats. But I got news for you folks. If you give those guys a dream, you give them a vision, they will support you for themselves and for their kids. And what Coffee Guy laid down as a platform was no less than extreme progressive liberalism. You want to put that in my bag?
It wasn't well received.
Oh,
No,
we can't get a receipt?
Your payment was.
No, just the receipt. I definitely feel like, no, that way. Anywho's, so there he is. He's elected against all polling and odds to be the mayor of Stanton, Connecticut, and that's where he starts making some real social change. Because we're only in the 80s now, if I've done my math right.
He's a caffeine-addled maniac, and I really think that, I mean, what this autobiography needs from the first draft I've seen of Coffee Guy's work is a judicious edit. It probably needs to take a long hard look at itself. And there's whole chunks. There's whole chunks in the book which have just got to go in my opinion.
So, yeah, and I tell you what else. It wouldn't do badly with a proofreader either. Grammar in this thing is
yeah, look.
incredibly poor.
And I feel like, even though I wasn't involved, neither of us were in the writing of the first draft of the book.
I was just relaying it.
Yeah, I know. And you're doing a good. I mean,
I was doing an accurate job.
You were editing on the fly.
Yeah, it's not even the whole damn first chapter of the book.
This thing is thick like an ocean. It just goes for days.
Long story short,
The guy winds up addicted to caffeine like whoring himself out on the streets in New York. And it's sort of like, I mean, it's a classic cliffhanger. It's like, how's he going to bounce back from this? Stick around for the second part of the book.
yeah, you got the first 3 chapters. That's one half of the book, and then the second 3 comprising
is a new book.
your standard half does chapter structure comprising 2 books. Yeah, everyone's seen that.
The man is anything but traditional, in the great words of Aidan, the guy from Sex and the City 2.
Aiden carries ex-boyfriend and future smushy mouth.
Well, this is the greatest mirage I ever saw, and I had some peyote in Arizona once that blew my head off.
See, now, okay, here's the thing. You need to be careful of your memory, son, because what you're doing is giving the movie too much credit. Because Aiden doesn't say, this is the best mirage I've ever seen. He incorrectly states, this is the best mirage I've ever had, which is not something that you can have.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. I auto-corrected that for them. Do you know why that is? I'm one of those guys. You know,
you're like Clippy from Windows 98. You're from Word. You're like, hey, I see you're trying to write a movie script that makes sense. Michael Patrick King, can I assist?
I'm Bonzi Buddy. I talk. I email.
You're the personal assistant no one asked for.
No, but I'm one of those guys who win. You know those Facebook puzzles when they're the same first and last letter in the word, but they jumble up all the middle.
Yeah, and it still makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys who, when I read it, I just read it perfectly. I just get it first try. Like I'm just one of those super smart guys.
Yeah, great to hear.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And according to the polls, like only 1% of people can do that. So, whatever.
Well put. You are the smartest man in the room right now. Now, I would like to open another book, a different book, a leather-bound book, a delicious chocolatey brown book, a book that smells of age, distinction, and semen. Because it's time to open up...
Because it's splat full with ideas.
Mr. Big's Big Book of Ideas. The book upon which John...
Cena!
No. Shit. What is... Preston. John Preston.
Sort of...
John Philip Preston, I believe.
Blots down his thoughts and musings on the state of the world and ideas to maybe improve it for all or for himself financially. It's full of all manner of ideas. He actually he relabeled the front page, but he actually bought, and this was pointed out to us by a fan, he bought the book from a merchandise company called Lemon Softs Laminated Limited, which is...
The future adventures of Fader and the boys, huh?
Well,
Eric's really doing well for himself now.
It's a subset of his auto mechanic. Where it was, first of all, it was just mechanics diaries, and then it sort of he had this great big book just that Kevin James would keep in character as Eric Lemonsoff on the set of Grown Ups 2. Yeah. Where he's just explored down all these blotchings and etchings and weird colorings of ideas, and eventually that product got refined through the workshopping process into a range of sort of thought journals, and as it turns out, that's exactly the book that Mr. Big is using. So it's not like, as we originally suspected, just a blank turn the page kind of journal. It's like each page has a directive or a
this week,
on it.
this opening of the book is no exception, because in this week's exciting, I don't want to say chapter, usually we'd say chapter, but literally we're dealing with a book, so we can't use the metaphor of chapter, we have to be literal and say the page. Page we're dealing with this week is Big's big idea to reduce the vermin population vis-a-vis diminish the threat of Brady the Rat King and his never-ending blood quest. So, after recently watching Die Hard 3, somewhat bemoaned by some, hugely enjoyed by this reviewer, if I'm... you spat your drink out there, guy.
Yeah.
You're right?
When you call yourself a reviewer, I always do a spit take.
Sorry, say that again.
When you call yourself a reviewer, I always do a spit take. I've only done it once.
Very good. Yeah, that's literally the only time I've ever called myself a reviewer too, so that fits. So, as I was saying, he's surveying the area, he's seeing too many rats out there, too much power in Brady's pocket, and he's recently seen Die Hard 3, in which there's a lot of riddles that John has to solve.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, this isn't good because my memory is always sketchy, particularly in franchises. I roll movies together, and then I have movies that aren't even part of the trilogy. So get prepared to get pissed off, internet.
No, you guys will love it. It'll be a better one.
I'm pretty sure this is right. In the third one, that's when there's riddles he has to solve, like because it's Hans's cousin or something. He's like, Simple Simon met a pieman at the fair. Simple Simon said... Fuck, I can't remember how the rest of it goes. Anyway, there's a lot of riddles. Now, one of these particular riddles relates to hats, cats, kittens, I think mittens and wives. How many going to St. Ives, right?
Yeah.
So, after watching this movie recently, he starts thinking about kittens, and then he starts thinking about cats, and then he's like, holy smokes, the one thing that could take down the rats are
Cats.
super powerful domestic cats,
Oh, wow.
because they love it. So, Mr. Big gets on developing a breeding program to just get the pet population out of control. And, as it turns out, to increase the number of cats in New York City, it's actually really easy. All you have to do is outlaw fixing your pets, like it becomes illegal to get your cat spayed.
Yeah, well, it's inhumane. It's been said.
Exactly. Think of all those young kittens that never got born because your cat got fixed, you know? It's an act against God, I would say. So, in a campaign to put this to an end, Big sets about using his millions to gather together churchgoers, moral ponderers, ethical statesmen who are on the right side of the ledger, and bandies them together to come up with a propaganda campaign to convince everyone else that spaying your cat is a terrible thing to do, immoral, should be illegal. And they pass a motion in the city council, and it becomes an ordinance that if a vet is caught fixing a cat in that town, henceforth, they get run out of town, which is a weird law to make. Like that's not an everyday punishment.
Can you retract me? Did Mr. Big create and enforce this law?
He initiated the committee that came up with the propaganda campaign. They hired some lobbyists and got this law passed, right?
He did.
Yeah, Big did. He's at the top. He's alpha dog.
That is a win from a guy who couldn't need it more, and it couldn't come at a better time. I am so happy for him.
So, well, look, this isn't the end of the tale. Because
Obviously.
the thing is, like,
It's just but a thread
Almost-
in life's rich tapestry.
almost overnight, the cat population becomes completely out of control. And, unfortunately, it's the worst cats that are having more kittens. Like, the most vicious, feral, disgusting, sexually aggressive cats are just going around creating this offspring that passes their aggressive seed on, right?
This is terrifying for the people of New York.
Yeah, because in your head,
and
you'll
it's
go
like-
like, if we outlaw spaying cats, we'll just be populated by lots of cute little kittens. Not how it works.
No, this is The Simpsons did an episode about this. This is the cane toad effect.
Yeah, I guess it is. We could have been going there. I guess we're not anymore. So anyway, these cats get completely out of control. An overly aggressive population that's just go around scratching, biting, giving everyone rabies. And unfortunately, that's when Big has to pull out the big guns because, he's a smart guy. He's always got a backup, a plan B, and release the virus that he was secretly working on at the same time.
Jesus Christ.
That takes out the entire female population.
Of cats.
Yeah, just cats, not feline humans.
Oh, I thought you said female. You said feline.
Feline.
Oh, okay.
So,
So he-
problem solved, essentially.
So it's like a caper sort of movie or an episode of a sitcom where, oh no, I slipped on a banana peel and accidentally created a mutant strain of cats who are destroying everything. And then by the end of the episode, it's like,
Sort of like Outbreak or,
yeah,
what is it called? 24 days later? 14 days later?
I don't know.
The virus movie? It was bloody
It's
good.
more, it's
28 days later, I think.
oh yeah, the zombie movie.
Yeah, with Sandra Bullock in it.
Yeah, in the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is all good. Hey Tim, this is all good stuff.
It's great stuff. So that's where he's at. I just wanted to let you know how
gotta
that
s-
went on that book
I've got to
comic page.
say, we have pretty much had a nuclear reaction to the movie this week. If you chart our experience watching it into our experience talking about it, the thing is fucking like, there's literally a force field between us and that goddamn thing right now. It is actually, we can't touch it, it can't touch us, we're both toxic. This fucking situation is getting out of hand.
The crazy thing is, though, what previously would happen is we'd be physically repelled from taking it in a sensory fashion, so we would like look elsewhere. But now we seem to have gained the ability to look and listen directly at the movie whilst taking in none of what it has to throw out at us.
Sort of like our bodies absorbed the maximum amount of Sex in the City 2 that it can, and now it's like,
We're oversaturated.
yeah, it's just our body is rejecting it. Which is an interesting thought, and I defy any of you, if you want to have a crack, by all means. I mean, we've laid the blueprint out. It's not exactly rocket science.
Is there anyone else we've got to check on this week?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm also doing well. Did you figure out your shining light?
No, sir. No, sir, I didn't.
Did you come up with a replacement? Could be anything.
I guess it would have to be to the three gentlemen that they drink to in the desert when they're having their little picnic. I've always tried to remember their names, but I never do.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a crack?
Hatimi is the final one.
You're right. You're correct.
They strain to remember that name, which is why it's so noticeable as an audience member. But it comes back down to just the toxic effect that the movie and I have on one another. I'm pretty sure it's not in there.
Right, we're focusing on the positive, guys.
It's 5 syllables.
Yeah. So
2 names, 5 syllables. The first 2, the second 3. I'm pretty confident. I think I've got the rhythm of it. I just don't know the names.
Hatimi and the boys. This one's for you.
I'm going to pour some of my apple juice out for you.
You're going to put. Oh, okay, like a mark of respect. At this juncture.
Get it on mic.
Okay. Nice.
That's for Hatimi and the boys.
At this juncture, I would like to remind everyone to please, if you're in New Zealand or if you know someone in New Zealand, get them on BIGPIPE. It's literally the greatest thing to happen to New Zealand internet since it started here, which was a lot more recently than you'd think. But it's very fast. I'm on a plan on BIGPIPE at the moment where I get 200 maps up and down. That's not fuck around speed, bro.
That's not side to side, everybody. That's up and down. That's up the river, right back down the other side. 2 rivers is a tributary, and what I'm saying is this is a tribute to BIGPIPE. What a provider. I mean, they are the ocean. They are the moving water of internet providers.
The cat's knees and the bee's pajamas, and they don't ever throttle your speeds, ever, whatsoever. It's capless.
All your loved ones.
There's no caps. There's no caps and asses. There's no caps on your internet. The data caps thing we have to make.
Yeah, that's good, baby. Hey, look, it's Joseph Moore.
Oh, wicked.
What impeccable timing.
And I would also like to say, go to bigpipe.co.nz and enter in worst idea as a code when you sign up. There's no contracts as well. They're not going to lock you in for 12 months. So give it a whirl. Tell them we bloody sent you. Use the code because that helps us out and it helps you out by getting a month free to fuck around on that not fucking around speed.
And as always, sadly, if you don't live in New Zealand, go fuck yourself.
This is Tim and Guy signing off and reminding you, or maybe telling you for the first time, reminding you.
Live every moment.
Oh, and love every day. And also to look forward to a special guest that we've got coming up soon, who I'm very excited about as well.
Of course. Great tease. Who could it be?
I'm not going to tell. And some of you might not care, but I think most of you will. Anywho, lots of love. All the best. Bye-bye.
It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time.